Prof, tell me where you stand on us lending 11 billion rand in South Africa, because it sounds great right now, but do we have the money to pay that back over time? Good morning.
Good morning. My answer to you is very straight. There was a need for South African to borrow this 750 million US dollars, which converts into 11.4 billion rands. And what are the reasons? I'm saying there was a necessity. There was under collection by state organs like SARS and others. Hence, there was less money available for the South African government to use for its service delivery and other commitments. And you must remember, we pay millions, tens of millions of South African rands a day just in interest payments alone. I think that is what many people are really scared of. But there was a need to raise this loan. And secondly, you must remember that South Africa has got a very serious debt to GDP ratio challenges. But if ever it did not raise this money, it was not going to be able to deal with the COVID-19 issues, and there are many of them. And South Africa can be able to pay this money back. I will tell you why. Because the World Bank loan is low interest, spread over 13 years, and there's a 3-year grace period. So during that grace period, South Africa can attend to this, to the South African COVID challenges without necessarily thinking about how it's going to finance the repayments of that loan. That is the main thing. The other reasons raised by other people, yes, some of them are genuine, but some of them are really out of order. I mean, like, for example, some people are saying that there's money, 500 billion, which was lost. There's no such money which was lost through COVID.
But how does the country pay back this money, Professor, even though you're saying it is quite low interest rates as it is, and there is this grace period? We are on such a tight budget as a country. We're practically in the red nearly all of the time. Some people are complaining and arguing that even taking on any kind of debt is going to put us even further into the red. We simply don't have the wiggle room to pay something like this back, albeit incredibly important.
The problem was, the other alternative was with what happened in South Africa in 2018. They could have raised VAT, and the community cannot afford that thing. It could have really sparked a very big rebellion in South Africa if they raise VAT. It's unaffordable for many people. And secondly, they could have raised personal income taxes, and South Africa has got a diminishing pool of taxpayers. The people who pay taxes in South Africa who pay personal taxes in South Africa are less than 10 million from a population of about 58 million. If ever you increase personal income taxes, you would just be increasing the queues of people who are queuing to emigrate from South Africa. So what were the other options? Because South Africa needed the money. South Africa is spending more than it generates income or revenues. They had to get the money from somewhere. Under ideal circumstances, many people would be uncomfortable about taking further loans, but they had to do it. It was one way in which they could deal with this. Otherwise, the country would, for the first time, find itself defaulting on its debt repayments, which is very bad. We must remember that we're already in junk status with all the top 3 major international credit rating agencies.
Prof, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed. I think it's given us perspective as to why this loan was taken. I think people panic when we see South Africa as a country taking loans, but now understanding at least the implications of what would have happened if we hadn't certainly would have made it on the what you've explained to me a lot worse. But Professor, thank you very much indeed. Professor Bonke Dumisa, independent economic analyst at Dumisa, joining us to talk about that.